Honestly, Gladys has lost every little bit of her tiny mind. She is literally walking on thin ice at this moment. Like she really is bugging out at the moment. I'm glad Sonny turned her down because he would have been nuts to even take that offer. Like that would have been stupid. And I'm glad he had common sense because everything she was offering him was definitely insider trading. And the last thing Sonny needs is the feds up his ass. Like he does not need the SEC on his back. Um, and she's sitting here talking about a finder's fee. I would have sat right there and told her, ma'am, the only thing you can find is the door. There it is. Exit. Like, she really is crazy. A finder's fee. If you don't get the hell out of that office, Gladys. And I would have knocked her out right then and there because at the end of the day, why are you sitting there asking questions about the envelope Frank gave Dex? That's none of her business. And I'm glad Frank checked her on that. Like, she knows better than ask those questions. Like, people get dead over questions like that. And whatever she thinks she's planning by calling Miss Wu is gonna backfire on her. Like Gladys never learns her lesson. Whatever she got up her sleeve is gonna backfire. And at the end of the day, Sonny may not pull the trigger on her. He may not take her out, but Miss Wu would not hesitate to take Gladys out. She wouldn't even hesitate. She wouldn't do all that talking. She just boom, you're done. Like she has no connection to Gladys. She better be glad Sonny gave her a box of biscotti. She should have took that biscotti and went about her business. Because now she's stepping into some shit at this point. Like Miss Wu is not to be played with, and she's not to be trusted. You know, but obviously Gladys just ain't got the good sense God gave a billy goat. So she gonna get hers. You know, she playing a dangerous game at this moment. Um, so anyway, moving on from that, Jocelyn. I really wish a bus would just take Jocelyn out while she walking across the street. I'm just so sick of her at this point. Like I couldn't even believe Sonny was sitting there talking about, "Oh, you're brutally honest, just like your mother." I'm like, did he just use Carly and honest in the same sentence? Okay, I guess. Okay. I'm like, Sonny, you done married that woman about 6 times. You really want to go honest when you describe her? Okay. And you want to call little Cujo Jr. honest, the same woman that was creeping behind cameras? But I digress. Um, I'm just so tired of Sonny groveling to these little spoiled brat kids. Like I'm just so sick of it. Like I understand he wants to make peace and he wants to bring the family back together, but I'm not kissing nobody ass, and I was actually happy that he turned her request down. I was happy that Sonny stood firm on that because I totally agreed with him. If Dex wants out of the business, Dex needs to come to him and not send his woman to do his bidding. Even though Dex didn't know that she was going there. But you know how embarrassing that is? Like your woman coming to fight your battles? Like that is so demeaning in a way. Like it's like you're, as a man, it just feels like your testicles just got cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so emasculating. It's like, to have your woman fighting your battles. Like again, even though Dex had no clue about it, it's just like once it happens, it's just like you just felt like your left nut just fell off. Like you no longer have balls. Like my goodness, like she just took his balls and put them on her. It's like, is she gonna be wearing his briefs next? You know, it's like, damn, like your woman going to the big boss to handle your business for you. That's embarrassing. Because if I was Sonny, I would just be sitting there, I would be feeling embarrassed for him, and I could see why Dex was pissed off. I can't say I blame him. Um, but I'm sorry. It's just at the end of the day, I'm not kissing nobody's ass to get along with them. That's just, it's not going down like that. And I feel like Jocelyn coming in here talking about, oh well, you firing Dex and setting him free. That's a start to me and you getting back cool. I wouldn't give a damn about being cool with her if I was Sonny. I would not give a damn. She not his child. I wouldn't give a flying fig about being cool with Jocelyn. What is me being back in Jocelyn's good graces? What would that do for Sonny? I'm just saying, if I was Sonny, what would that do for me? I would be, if I was him, I would be asking myself that question. What does it do for me? I'm just saying, it's like, okay, I don't need to be back in your good graces. Exit stage left. I would tell her the same thing I would tell Gladys. Go find the door. There you go. Um, Totally ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, Michael. Ugh. See, that he just basically confirmed what I already knew. His anger towards Sonny, him wanting to take Sonny down, all stems from him being upset that Sonny's with Nina. That's pretty much what it is. And that's he pretty much confirmed it by sitting there saying, "Oh, as long as Sonny picks the family over Nina." And I'm glad Dante put things into perspective for him by letting him know you don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Like, you do not want to play that game. You do not want to put Sonny in a position where he's in the middle and he got to pick the family over Nina, because Michael may not like the answer. He may not like the outcome. He may not. At the end of the day, it's like him and Jocelyn just seem very entitled. They seem very bratty and think that, oh, if they throw little hissy fits and kick you out of the family, then they're just gonna get their way. It's like, hell no. And I hope Sonny stands firm. It's like, at the end of the day, you can't dictate his life, and he shouldn't let these little spoiled kids dictate who he dates. Like, I'm sorry that they're upset that he hurt their mama, but at the end of the day, life moves on, and they need to move on. He's with Nina now. Get over it. Michael really needs to stop with the temper tantrums, because it's not becoming of somebody who's damn near 40. Like, just saying. Like, sir, you are damn near 40. Focus on your life. Your wife is sitting here. She been dying for the last 3 years and 16 months and 17 days and 24 hours and 22 seconds. Focus on that. Don't focus on that over here. Like, what Sonny and Nina got going, that ain't your business. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and dictate your father's personal life. It don't work like that. So anyway, moving on from that. That ad campaign for deception for the Deceptor, I didn't like it. I didn't. Deception is the magic, or it's magic, or something like that. I'm like, who the hell came up with that slogan? Whoever it was in marketing or wherever, they need to be fired. I'm just saying, they need to get their 2 week notice. They need to get future endeavored, because that was horrible. I actually liked the Sasha and Nina scenes. I really did. I preferred Sasha to actually be Nina's daughter than Willow, to be quite honest. I feel like the mother-daughter chemistry is more heavy between them than Willow and Nina. Just my opinion. Um, and I totally get where Nina coming from, as far as like not putting Sasha in that position to go talk to, Carly and all them to smooth things over. I agree. I feel like that would just be falling on deaf ears. So I think Sasha need to stay out of that one. I wouldn't even get involved in that foolishness. Um, I am glad though that Maxie confided in Sasha and told her about what Cody did for her at the TV studio. I think that's huge, and I think she needed to know that. And I'm glad that Sasha's starting to get her life back on track. Even by petitioning to get this guardianship thrown out. Good for her. Hopefully, there's still some money there when this petition is all said and done and the guardianship is lifted. Hopefully, the money is still flowing. Because ain't no telling what Gladys done spent so far. If there's anything even left to pour after that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Ain't no telling what type of money Gladys was taking out. Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. I actually liked the scenes with Cody and James and stuff like that. I thought those was pretty dope. I think he was actually pretty good with the kid. Um, I really hope that Obrecht allowing Scott to take her home is a soft opening for the two of them. I hope so. I really hope that she's starting to let her guard down again with him, and they can fix that, because I do like them as a couple. And I feel like she shouldn't let one little thing ruin something that made her happy. You know what I mean? Like, she should give Scott another chance. He could be a pain in the ass sometimes, but he do love his little schnitzel. So, whatever the hell he called her. Um, and I really hope Cody does the right thing and decide not to go after, that necklace or whatever, or try to get that money. I hope he don't. I really hope he don't, because, I hope that he, stands by what he been saying and stuff like that, and I hope that he's not all about the money. He calls up Mac and they set up a meeting, and he really do need to tell Mac that they're father and son. Mac deserves to know. You know what I mean? It's like, don't drag this out and don't make everything about money. I mean, I don't feel like, even if he were a billionaire right now, I feel like that wouldn't really fulfill Cody. I don't think it would make him genuinely happy. Money does not make everybody happy all the time. I think money is just a tool. You know what I mean? It gives you the freedom to kind of branch out and do what you want to do. But you could buy everything in the world. It still probably ain't going to make you happy because they're just things. It's material. So hopefully that's not what he's all about. And he changes that. So anyway, moving on from that. I am not thrilled about that scene with Jordan and Curtis. I am really not. I feel like Jordan needs to move on. I really felt bad for her because I'm like, she don't need to be going back to him. She do not need to be spinning the block on Curtis. Absolutely not. I feel like that ship has sailed between them because the way that he's been acting towards her since the divorce and before that, I wouldn't even entertain a reunion between the two if I was her. I would not. I would laugh in his face. Oh, I'm still in love with you. Oh, where the fuck was all that last year? Where was all that a year ago? Where was all that 6 months ago? Like, sir, before you said I do, where was all this? Now you want to sit here and confess your sins? Like, come on now. Miss me with that nonsense. And I was so disappointed when she was like, oh, figure out your stuff or whatever, and then you know where to find me. No, he don't need to know where to find you, ma'am. He needs to move the hell on and fix his marriage is what he need to do. And because the fact that he can't answer certain questions tells me that he's on the rebound, and I don't want to see Jordan get played like that. Jordan is too gorgeous, too smart to be sitting here wasting her time on Curtis. Like, she need to move on with herself, and he need to figure out his life, because from the sounds of it, his life is just a hotbed of mess at this moment. He's still waiting on the DNA results. His marriage is up in the air at this point, and now he's having a crisis with his career at this point. Like, he doesn't know what he want to do. Like, he's happy with the club, but it's not really going to fulfill him for the rest of his life, and he's not that happy. Like, he wants to make a career change. I say sell the club. I definitely think he's going to try that WSB stuff. I think he's going to try it, because I think when he was in Greenland, that gave him a rush. It gave him an adrenaline rush that he probably hasn't felt in a while, being a PI and all that type of stuff. So I think he's going to take the WSB up on the offer. But before he does that, I think him and Portia need to have a sit down, because they need to figure out what's going on with this marriage. Like, they can't stay in limbo like this. Speaking of Portia, she was working my soul. I love the fact that Taggart was just on her, like, trying to put some sense into her head about this thing. Like, she's making it seem like Taggart is just cool with Trina being with Spencer. I'm pretty sure he's not. But at the end of the day, he made a lot of valid points. Trina's a grown-ass woman now. She's a young adult. Instead of Portia putting all her energy into trying to split Spencer and Trina up, she need to be putting all that energy into fixing her marriage. Like, try to fix that instead of trying to break them up, because all it's going to do is put more pain on her, because now she's going to alienate her daughter even further. The more she tries to split them up and go against Spencer, the worse it's going to be for her when it comes down to her relationship with Trina. She need to listen. I feel like she being hard-headed as hell. She just don't want to listen to common sense at this point. It's like, I get it. You're worried about your daughter being with him. Guide her. Instead of trying to waste your time splitting them up, just guide her. Be there as a sounding board if things do, hit the fan between her and Spencer. At least Trina knows that she can go to her mother. Like, do Portia really want Trina going to Ava every 5 minutes for advice? She should also be going to her mother mostly. But if she keep up this, Ava pretty much gonna be the new mama for her. If she keep up her shenanigans, like, she better focus on her little failing marriage at this point and stop focusing on Trina and her life. Like, this is Portia's time. Portia did her job. She raised her daughter to adulthood. Now it's time for her to focus on her life and let Trina figure out her life. You know what I mean? Like, this is Portia's time, to shine and do her own thing. You know what I mean? Like, you can still be there for your child, but don't try to micromanage their life and dictate who they date just because you don't like the boy. Like, she really need to listen to Taggart and listen to what Ava also said to her the other day. Like, she treading on thin ice her damn self. This was a pretty solid episode. I got a good kick out of this. This was funny as hell. But yeah, that was pretty dope. Peace.